Welcome everyone to my AMA for January 4, 2024. Happy New Year to everyone, and a good old happy birthday to me as well. So what we're going to cover today is just some AMA questions, some Ask Me Anything questions. For those of you who do not know me, which everyone here knows me, so I'm just going to quickly skip through this. Dan Wassink, Dan's Tutorials. You can find me on YouTube and Facebook and now Threads. Yeah, and of course my website, danstutorials.com. So the first question that I have is actually comes from Ward, and it's, what do you think about Malwarebytes and Clean My Mac, those types of programs? Ward, do you want to expand on that before I give my thoughts and ask what you're questioning?
Well, there is malware software over the years, and these days I'm running a trend.
You're breaking up just a little bit.
Here.
A plugin for Safari that's primarily an ad blocker.
Okay.
I think. Oh, no, it's watching what's happening and it gives me a little thing in the corner of the screen.
Okay.
A year or so ago, I started occasionally running Malwarebytes when something strange seemed to be happening and it's never found anything. So I was curious what your practice is these days in terms of standalone abilities that you launch yourself and things that are always running.
Okay. So Malwarebytes is, well, as you know, and for those of you who don't know, it's basically looks for malware, not necessarily viruses, I don't think. It might do that. Apple does recommend it. I've heard people from Apple recommend it. And Clean My Mac is a very similar type of program. It does have a malware program, although I know that one does not have a virus program in it. And generally, my recommendation is I stay away from those. Now, saying that, if I were to go with any of them, my first preference is Clean My Mac. I've used it for several years. I've paid for it. Now I use it through SetApp. I like it, but I don't leave it running all the time. Malwarebytes is good too, but Clean My Mac just does, I think, a little bit more than what Malwarebytes, but either one of them are good. But I don't run them all the time. And I don't even have Malwarebytes on my computer. I've downloaded it in the past, but I don't have it on my computer. The reason why I don't recommend them, or why I don't use them, I should say, is I know what I'm doing with my computer for the most part. It's never really detected anything on my computer, and viruses, it's not going to find any viruses. Yes, it's going to find malware, but I just stay away from, you'll get those when you download apps that are pirated, movies that are pirated. Sometimes it looks like a movie, and then when you open it up, it'll put a malware on there. I know Transmission, which is a BitTorrent application, very popular, and one of their updaters a couple of years ago that had a malware in it. So you every once in a while you find that, but if you stay away from those programs, those apps, you generally will not have any problem with it. So it's something that you could just run every once in a while. I don't have it running in the background, I guess. So I will run Clean My Mac periodically, maybe once every 6 months or something like that. Again, another reason why I don't, they used to slow down the computer, really slow them down. Now computers are so fast, especially with the M1s, M2s, M3s, and all that kind of stuff. You don't need to do that. And when I worked at Apple back 12 years ago, they didn't run them on their computers either. So I thought if it was good enough for them, it's got to be good. If they don't run them, why should I run them? Kind of thing. Of course, they're on a big old network that's protecting everything. So, they're on a different level, but still it does, it popped in my head. So they're good. They don't do any harm to your computer. used to slow them down, but if you're not downloading pirated software and things like that, or when you're downloading stuff from legitimate developers, you generally don't have to worry about that. And of course, just be careful with emails. That's another place where that malware can arrive when someone sends you an attachment. So if you're careful with all that kind of stuff, you really don't have to worry about it. But those are the two that I do like. Malwarebytes and Clean My Mac is one that I personally do have, and I have it installed on my Mac. So, does that help?
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. The next question, this one I get quite a bit from Louise, and it's how to make messages sync across the iPad, the iPhone, and the Mac. And basically, there's a few different steps that we have to follow here. So some of you have seen this. So I'm just going to kind of go through this. And is Louise here? Doesn't look like it. Okay. So I'm just going to step through it to where if she watches this later on. But I think most of you have seen this before. What you'll want to do, so we'll first start out with the Mac. So we'll go over to my Mac here. And what you'll want to do is, first of all, go to open up messages here. And when you go to the preferences or settings, depending on which Mac OS you have, what you want to do is go over to iMessage, and you want to make sure that Enable Messages is turned on. So you just go ahead and turn that Enable Messages in iCloud, and then that will sync your Mac with iCloud. So that's the first step. Now the next step is if you have an iPad. So we'll go over to my iPad here. And enter my code. Yep, that's fine. All right. Okay, so with the iPad, it's a little more simple. All we have to do is just go over to our account here, and then we go over to iCloud, and what we want to do is we want to make sure that when we show all, because then we can see all the settings, what we want to do is we want to make sure that messages here is turned on. And then that'll sync your messages with your iPad. Now, all of this is, we'll go over to the phone, and then we'll go over to the last thing, which some of you probably can guess where I'm going to go with that, text forward messaging. But on the iPhone, what you'll want to do is, again, go to your settings. Same thing. We go up to our account here. We go over to iCloud. And then, once I show all, you're going to see messages, and we want to make sure that that is turned on. Then, the last step, and this is on the iPhone, when we go back over to our overall settings, so I'm looking at all of my settings here again, what we do is we go up until we find messages. And there's one thing that you want to do. Right now, the way that it sits is any of my messages that I receive, Apple messages, so if someone sends me a message on my iPhone that has an iPhone, it's going to go to all my devices. All the Apple stuff plays really, really friendly. But I do have a few friends that are on the Android side. Trying to convert them, it's not working, but I'm trying. But if they send me a message, what that will do is that will only go to my iPhone. It will not send over to my Mac. So what we have to do is we have to go into messages here, and what you're going to see here is, that's right, it's not on that phone because that phone does not have an account. So let me pull up my other phone. This is my real phone here. Okay. Like my screen. Did you see that? Little iPod there. But anyway, if I go over to the messages here, and we're going to go back over to my messages settings, being that this has a Verizon account attached to it. Doesn't matter which cell service you're going to use. You're going to see that iMessage is turned on. But what we have here is text message forwarding. This is the key to making the whole thing work. Right now, it is going to work kind of. It'll work with anyone that sends you a message if they have an Apple device. Works great. But Android people, if they send you a message, it's only going to go to the iPhone. So what we have to do is tap on this, and then we have to say, send that text message over to my other devices. So I got over the Christmas here. Best Buy had a little bit of a deal, so I did end up buying. My wife wanted to get a new MacBook Air, so we just went out and got a couple of MacBook Air 15-inch. So that's what I'm using as my demo now, even though on my screen it'll show as an Air, but it is a 15. And you're going to see that is on. So if someone on an Android were to send me a message, it would go to all of my other devices. I could be on my iPad, I could be on my old MacBook Air, I could be on my MacBook Pro. It's going to go to all those because it's going to forward those, except my Air, the new one. So what I need to do is I just need to turn this on. And then when I do that, now my Air will, because my phone is going to forward it onto Apple's servers, and then the Apple servers will spread it out to all of my different devices. So that's the key to making all of your things work. You have to turn messages on, sync your messages on the Mac, sync your messages with iCloud on your iPhone and iPad, and then make sure you turn on text message forwarding. And then it should all work. So, all right. Next one is from Fran. Welcome back, Fran. It's been a while. She asked, she just got a new iPhone 15, correct? And she has an old Apple Watch. So what she would like to do is, she has an old an iPhone, and she needs to pair her Apple Watch, unpair it from her iPhone, her old one, and pair it to the new one. Correct?
Is that true? Is that what I have to do? Is that why I
Well,
couldn't
yeah,
pair it?
did you set up your iPhone already, your new iPhone, using their
My new
setup?
My new iPhone is all working and set up, but it won't talk to my watch.
Okay, so yes, then you will have to, then you'll follow these steps.
Okay.
And do you still have your old iPhone?
I do.
Okay. So what you're going to do is go over to the iPhone, not the watch. You're not going to touch the watch at all yet. There it is.
My old iPhone?
Old iPhone. And under the watch app, so I'm just going over, oh, it's not showing up there, is it?
No.
iPhone personal. Wrong iPhone. There it is. All right. So I'm going to go to the watch app. And up at the top, you're going to see all watches. Even if you have one watch. You do, so you see this. Okay, so it wants to pair it already. So what you may need to, so your phone is ready to set up for it, but your watch isn't yet. So okay, so then what you'll need to do, we will need to go to the watch. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to go to my watch here a minute. Let's see here. And we should see it here soon.
Did she unlink from her old phone?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Well, the Apple Watch I think the Apple Watch is linked to the old phone. So what we need to do is reset it on the watch itself. And then it'll, what happens if you go to your new iPhone and you go to the watch app? Do you see all watches? So go to the watch app. Go to my watches, my Yeah, my watch. And then what do you see? Anything?
No, it's just, both of them say start pairing, but I can't start pairing. It won't work.
Right. What happens when you tap on start pairing? Camera turns on?
It says set up for myself or
Okay.
set up for a family member, and I've clicked set up for myself.
Okay.
And,
Yep.
and then it says get started with Apple Watch.
Yeah.
And now, of course, it's going to make a liar out of me, right?
That's how it
but
works.
It says before you begin, update your iPhone to the latest version. Well, my iPhone is because brand
Okay.
new.
That doesn't mean
So-
anything, but go ahead.
But I think it's still paired to my old one, and that's why the problem has occurred, because it says hold your Apple Watch close to your iPhone. I didn't know if that meant my old iPhone or my
No,
new
you need to hold the old Apple Watch to your new iPhone, close to it.
my Apple. So it is okay. So there, and then I don't know. Nothing
Nothing?
happens.
Okay. So we're looking at my Apple Watch here.
Yeah.
And what you'll have to do is go to the Settings app. And if you see all of them in an icon view, what I would recommend is going down to the bottom and tapping on this to get them in a list view, all of your apps. Then swipe up till you see Settings.
Mhm.
And let's see if before I tell you what it is, I'm going to try to find it here.
Fine.
There it is. All right. Under General,
Okay.
what I would probably do, because you have a backup, is reset it.
Oh, I wondered about that.
It's going to
So
erase
hit-
everything but you have, because it backs up using your iPhone. You might you might lose a couple of days or whenever you got that iPhone, if that's okay with you. That would probably be the easiest. It's going to put it back into like it came out of the box, and then you should be able to pair it.
My watch will come back like it was
Like it came
in
out of the box, like brand new.
Oh,
Mhm.
so just hit reset and don't be scared.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. And it's gonna, all right. Erase
Yeah.
all content. Okay, so that's what I tried. And then when it said erase all content and settings, then I froze.
Then you froze? Yes.
Yeah.
Understandably
I-
so. But yes, I think you'll be fine. It's going to take a while, but yeah. And then, just keep me updated via email. But it's going to take
then
a
what-
while. So,
Oh,
and
so
then follow the instructions on your phone, and it'll pair up.
so
It's just
hit
like you have a
reset.
brand new watch.
Okay, so do I hit, okay. I gotta enter my password again then.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm trusting you. All right. So then erase all?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's going to erase everything from my phone?
Yep. No, not from your phone. Only your watch.
Oh, only my watch. Well,
Only your watch.
Oh, okay. All right.
You are doing this on the watch, right? Not the phone?
On the watch.
Okay.
Yes.
Then yes, it's going to be your watch.
Okay. So then that's easy enough. Thank you. I was just afraid to hit erase.
Oh, yeah. Nope. You were on the right track there. It's scary. It always
Yeah.
is scary. All right.
I agree with you, Fran. There's certain things it's like, I freak out. Yep.
I always say, call Dan. That's my mantra.
All right. So the
Thank you,
next, yeah, no problem. Next question comes from Louise, and she's asking, what is the best way to back up files? Is Louise here again? I think she asked two questions in the same thing. All right. So if she watches this later, Time Machine on the Mac, and basically what you want to do, I'm just going to go basic because I don't know exactly what she's asking, but if you have a Mac, you want to just go out and buy an external hard drive, much like what I have here. You can get them pretty cheap now. You don't need anything fast. It's just a backup. USB is fine. You don't have to get FireWire or anything like that. You plug it into your computer, and then when you're on the Mac, all you have to do is just go over to your system settings, and they moved it here. It's under General. you're going to see Time Machine. Just click on the little plus there, select that hard drive, and it'll back up from there. And the first backup will take a while, and after that, it doesn't take that long. And as long as that hard drive is plugged in, it'll back up every hour. And you can plug in more than one hard drive, as we all know. Yeah.
That backups everything?
Backs up everything on your Mac that is not, yes, everything that is on your Mac. Now, the trick with that is, with these cloud services, it throws a little wrench in there. On the old days, everything was located on my Mac. New days, some of the stuff is located in iCloud. If it's not on your Mac, it's not going to back it up. So in this case here, I have a folder here called Work. You're going to see that has a little cloud icon to the right of the word Work. The little cloud icon is pointing down, which means that is in the cloud and it is not on my Mac.
Right.
So this file will not get backed up because it is not on my Mac. So the cloud kind of, like say, throws a wrench in there. Now the good news is it is in the cloud. So, if your Mac crashes, you can get it. But the bad news is it's in the cloud. So if the cloud service goes down, I'm putting a lot of trust into Apple with all of my photos and all that. If the cloud service goes down, Apple has a big breach, and I'm kind of screwed. So it does kind of put a little bit of pressure on that. If you want to make sure that it is backed up, what you can do is control click on it, and then you're going to see download now. And once it downloads it, then it'll back it up. But the problem with that is it's going to fill up your hard drive. What iCloud does is it kind of manages space on your, I'm surprised that with my old MacBook Air, how much I was able to get away with 256 gigabytes of hard drive. This new MacBook Air is 512, which I never would have thought about purchasing, but I used Apple's iCloud and it seems to work well, and I can get away with it, which blows my mind. But
Could you not have just clicked on the little cloud and it would have downloaded?
I don't know if that will do it or not. Yes, you're right. It does. Good point. Yes, you can click, and you can see there had a little chart there.
A little bar.
Yep. So yes, you can do that. So that's how you can back up all of your files on the Mac, and they have to be on the Mac. Now on the yeah.
Oh, sorry, Dan. What if you just wanted to download all your photos, like you got 20,000 photos? You just wanted to download those.
That's a little tricky. So with photos, I tell everyone that they should be using iCloud photo library, because then what it does is it stores all the high-res photos in the cloud and the low-res versions on your Mac. So if something were to happen, this is what I do. If something were to happen to my Mac, I'd be able to get all those high-res from the cloud. If something were to happen in iCloud with Apple, I'd lose them all. But that's the choice that I'm making. Now, if you don't want to make that choice and you want to be sure, what you'll need to do is in Photos, when you go into the settings for it, there's a setting for, under iCloud, where you can download the originals to the Mac. And you want to make sure that that is turned on. Now, the problem with that is it can fill up your hard drive really, really fast. I have about 180 gigabytes, it might even be more than that, probably 200 gigabytes of photos and videos. I'm sure Tom has multiple gigabytes as well. So what you need to do, and it is the right thing to do, if I could have bought a 2 terabyte drive, and then I would have had the space and I would have turned this on, and then they'd be on my computer and all that. But like I say, I'm putting a little bit of trust into Apple. I'm not saying it's the right thing. It's a choice that I am making, and I'm just choosing to optimize it. But if you really wanted to make sure that you had all the photos, the only way you can get around that is making sure you have one computer where this is turned on, and then that computer also has a Time Machine backup. Because then it's all downloaded. Yeah.
What if you had a 2 terabyte external hard drive?
You could do that.
You turn that on.
Just make sure that that 2 terabyte drive is always plugged into your computer.
Right.
So
And
if you
then
have an
you would
iMac or anything like that, it's no brainer. With a
Yeah.
portable, it can get a little bit tricky because it's a portable, and you don't want to lug this thing around all the time, so you have to plug it in. And if this isn't plugged in, you're not going to be able to look at all your photos because they're all on here. So,
So
but
what
it is
would happen?
possible.
What would happen if you downloaded all of those and then 6 months later you said, "Oh, I want to download some more now because I took another 500 pictures."
When
Does
you
it
turn
pick up what left
when you
off?
turn this on, nope, it is on or off. So if I take a photo, if I turn this on, I take a photo tomorrow, that original is going to be on my computer. It's ongoing. So it's not.
Oh. Oh, I see.
Along that line, then, if you use up all your memory on your Mac, like on my old Mac, and I have Time Machine 2 backups added to external drives to it that have plenty of room for it, but my Mac, that old MacBook doesn't have room for everything. So
You
what's
only
happening?
you only need to enable that on one computer. All the other ones you can say optimize. You just need one computer that downloads the original, and that one computer would have the Time Machine backups, and then it would back up those photos. Does that make sense?
I'm a little confused, but
You have multiple Macs, right?
yeah, I have the 2 Macs. My old one, I have the 2 Time Machines to it, but they have the 2 terabyte. I mean, the 1 terabyte ones, but the MacBook, the old MacBook, doesn't have that much memory, and whereas my new MacBook has, my M1 has more memory. So I mean, and I've struggled with this, and I don't even know if I understand it, because the old MacBook, I ran out of the supposedly the memory in it last June, and I don't know, I guess. But I have the 2 Time Machines, and but yet I have another 2 Time Machines to my new one.
So
Right.
why couldn't you download all your stuff onto your 2 terabyte external hard drive and then go back to your Mac and take them off there?
Good.
I mean, well, no, I have 2 1 terabyte external hard drives. That's my point, and that's on the old one, and I don't know what to do with that. It's like
You just
Isn't that an extra
yeah.
copy of all your pictures? It's just
well,
a,
I don't know. I thought I had them all on my new one. I don't know. I guess part of it's understanding the whole and the interrelationship of them, as you were
Okay,
showing
if
here,
it
Dan.
if it uses iCloud, all of them are using iCloud, which is I would recommend. This iCloud photos here, they will all have the same photos on there. Now, the one with the largest hard drive, that could be your new one, you want to
Yeah.
make sure that it's set to download. All of your
Oh,
other
okay.
computers, put it to optimize. They don't need to have the originals.
Okay.
Dan,
Yeah.
is it possible to? I have a number of computers in my house. Is I'm wasting time airdropping a photo from one computer?
Oh no,
to
I do
another?
it. I do it on a regular basis because sometimes that syncing with photos isn't instantaneous. No, I do that.
Like I have one computer with a very large hard drive. I put a lot of documents on, and the smaller ones like the MacBook
Yep.
Air, I don't. Okay,
Mhm.
that's one way of doing it. Just
Right.
move it over to another computer.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Then doing what you just said, then do I make sure then on my new computer I have the download on that one on first before I go to the old one,
Yes.
and make sure that download originals is not clicked
Correct. Do it on this one first. Turn it on your new one first.
first?
Wait a week.
Okay, for the downloading. Okay.
Yep. And then on your old one, turn this on.
Oh, turn that on the old one.
So it's going to optimize it because you don't need those high-res photos
Okay.
on there, and that's going to clear up space on your old one.
Okay. Okay.
So one,
Okay.
what
and
if
then
you have all
2.
your photos on your iPad as well? Like,
Well, the
it's-
iPad backs up into iCloud, so you're fine with that. So you're but your iPad uses iCloud Photo Library as well. Most iPads can't, they're smaller in space. So really the Mac is where you want to do this.
Oh,
Okay,
iPad is fine. And, it's like I say, I'm trusting Apple. It's a decision that I'm making, but it could come back and bite me. It
Yeah.
could. But
My luck.
if you
Okay,
really
so-
wanted to be sure, this is really the best way of doing it. Have one computer that is for that.
Okay,
if-
so to go back to repeat, go back to my old one first. No, to my new one first and download,
Yep.
click the upper one. Do that first. And then go to the old one and click optimize after a week.
Yep. You got it.
Okay.
And does this,
Okay.
is this possible for any OS?
Yeah, for the most part. This has been around for a long time. So yes.
Good.
Yep.
Oh boy, now I'm more confused.
Join the crowd, Fran.
All you have to do, just make sure, don't overcomplicate it. A lot of people will overcomplicate it.
That's
Just
only because we're talking about the external hard drive?
no, that's why don't even worry about the external hard drive.
Oh,
That's-
so
don't
when you
even-
click,
This is
Just
strictly
make sure computer-
itself.
Make sure that one
Computer
computer, the one with the largest hard drive, is set for that, and
What if you only have
all of
one
your other ones
computer?
can be set to that. What's that?
what if you only have one computer? Should you
Well,
keep it on?
then, yeah, if you have enough space, do that. If you don't have enough space, you're going to have to
It
trust
will-
Apple.
If you click that and you have enough space, if you don't have enough space, will it give you a
It'll
dialog?
tell you. Yeah.
You ran out of space?
Yep.
Then what do? Just stop
Just,
it and
yep,
unpick it
yep, exactly.
and just do optimize and then
Mm-hmm.
hope that your iPad Pro or whatever takes care of it and your iPhone?
Yep, if you have enough space on there, because those also have it. So I can go to my iPad here and go to the settings, and we go over go over to Photos. You're going to see that I have iCloud Photos, so we want to make sure that that's on, of course.
Yeah.
And then here, let's change the color here, right here. So we have the same options. Now, if you have a large iPad, yeah, this would be fine. Turn that on, the optimize or download originals. Absolutely. Then you don't have to worry about you need to have one device. Maybe I should rephrase it that
One
way.
device.
One
that's better.
device has to
That's
have
better.
that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm going to go back and listen to this over and over.
And just don't overcomplicate it. That's all.
Okay.
Yep.
Easy for you to say because you know what you're doing.
I agree, Fran.
You think after all these years, we'd start to know. So one has to have that. One device, that made a difference.
Yep. One device has to have that.
Okay. Thank you.
Then back to the backup all your files, under general, and you can do the same thing on the iPhone. Basically, you just want to, oops, it's not under general. It's under your iCloud here. There's going to be a backup right here. And you want to make sure that that is turned on. And then that will back up, all of the stuff on your iPad and all of the stuff on your iPhone. It's in the same spot on the iPhone. And back to that Photos, Fran, if you download all of the originals to the iPad, guess what it's going to do? It's going to back up all that into iCloud. So you'll be fine. So if you lose your iPad, it's backed up into iCloud. If iCloud, Apple loses it in iCloud, you have the originals on your iPad. That's what you want.
Okay, but
There it is.
But I also have Backblaze.
True.
Thanks
Correct.
to you.
Yep.
Right? So I
Yep.
could always get it from them.
Correct. You got it. You see, you got it.
Okay. Okay.
Ward?
Dan, while you were doing this, I checked my two primary Macs, my iMac and my Mac Mini. Both of them said keep all the originals.
Oh, so you got double.
So I went to the Mac Mini and clicked optimize. Now, is that going to just start throwing away the ones that are on the Mac Mini?
It's going to start throwing away the originals. So they're still going to be in the cloud, but they're not going to. So it's going to free up space on your Mac Mini, and quite a bit of space it could do. Like say, mine is probably let's just say 200 gigabyte, but on my iPhone it is taken up literally like 8 gig because they do a really, really good compression on there. But when you want to go and edit it, what it'll do is it'll download it to the iPhone, edits it, and then it uploads the original backup in there. So as long as you're good with that, then I would say, depends on how many backups you want to have, but I think you're good with that. So, All right. All right. Tom is asking. He is going to the CES show. Is it next week?
What's that?
It's on Tuesday.
Tuesday. So that's a consumer electronics show, and it's been around for, 30, 40 years. Used to have one in Chicago, and I think they used to have one in Boston too, didn't they? Or am I thinking Macworld?
Macworld.
Okay, so they used to have, and what it is, Fran, and for everyone else that doesn't know, it's the CES show. It's called the Consumer Electronics Show, and it is where a lot of companies will go and announce, not Apple, but they will go and announce the latest and greatest technology. Then you'll see the latest TVs. It's kind of like the Macworld Expo, but for consumer electronics. Would you say that's about right, Tom?
Yeah, 3,500 exhibitors this year.
Wow.
You're also talking about 8 different venues, the convention centers as well as the Sands Expo and other hotels.
Yeah.
And figure about 165,000 attendees.
Wow.
Where is this being held?
Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
Wow.
So Tom is going to see the latest and greatest, and he can give us a report at a later AMA, which will be in 2 weeks, if he wants to. But he's going to basically see all the new stuff, and a lot of the stuff is going to be they're pre-announcing, like not quite released yet. So he's going to really get a glimpse into what's going to be coming in the next year or 2 years.
But not Apple products?
Apple product, not Apple products, but other manufacturers might announce stuff, but not Apple.
Yeah, you'll get all kinds of stuff that work with Apple products like chargers and headphones and all kinds of other devices that work with iPhones and Macs and iPads.
He could see, what companies are coming out with hearing aids. That would be, I would be curious. There you go. I would like to know if there's going to be what's coming out with hearing aids. So
there were 2 of those companies last year on hearing aids, and then you have the new West Convention Center, which is all about vehicles. So you've got trucks, cars, everything else is electric.
Wow, that's exciting.
Every kind of device that you can think of that's electronics, from appliances to TVs to computers to
robots.
Robots, lots of robots, clones.
And have you gone there regular, like before, or is this your first time?
I go every year. I've been going the last 10 years, every year since Macworld was open.
Wow. Why? Just because you're interested in electronics, or is that your business?
Oh, I'm just crazy about electronics.
Well, I would come with you.
He comes back with a nice little gift bag.
Wow. That's awesome.
I do a lot of reviews and written and whatnot, but one thing I will not see will be the new
Vision Pro.
Vision Pro, which is supposed to come out the 26th of January.
Is it the 26th?
That's the last estimate I heard.
A pretty strong estimate, isn't it? I mean, it seems to be a pretty strong rumor. So, or they're going to announce it. I don't know when we're going to be able to get our hands on it, but yeah, I mean, I'm surprised at that. So the Apple Vision Pro for everyone looks like it could be this month, from what the rumor mills say.
Gave up your best $3,500.
Exactly. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be available for the week after AMA to answer any questions. And of course, on the 15th, we also have Apple user group or Apple World.
Will I be back then? Anyway, I'll know.
Oh,
So.
that'll be good too. Oh, I hope I can hear you.
George put a link in the comments for what the CES show is, so if anybody wants to see that. And I also see that Michael announced that he's going to be retiring. Nice, Michael. Is he still?
Thank you, George.
So, congrats there.
Hiring.
All right, let's move on here.
One last thing. Lots and lots of things about artificial intelligence this year for the first time.
Oh,
Sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Which,
Wow.
if we can finish, I can show off. I have AI on my site, and I sent it a couple of questions that we had for this AMA. So we'll
That's
see how it
wonderful. I'm done.
answers. All right.
Yep.
Look at Steve.
Yeah. Apple
Here's
Vision
Steve
Pro.
with
He's
the
quick on
bicycle
that.
helmet.
He is quick on that. All right. So Yvonne asked, and I'm sorry, Yvonne, I know you emailed me a while back, and I just, it's just been a hectic month or so. I mean, in part, it's me. I've been gone, and now I'm going again. But yes, I do offer one-to-ones, and she's wondering about one for something for 1Password, and basically, I'll show you where it is on the website, and if you want to set up a one-to-one, and if I'm not able to help, I have a no questions, money back guarantee. I personally don't use 1Password, but I know enough about it. I used to know a lot about it. I'm not with the latest version, but what I basically do is I do a screen share, and then I can kind of help you through that. So I'd be glad to give it a shot, and then if it doesn't work out, just let me know.
Sure. So do you recommend something else like Google?
No, if I were not to use Apple's, I'm completely happy with Apple's version of the password management, but it doesn't do as much as 1Password. And we can have Ward pipe in here if he wants to, why he really loves 1Password. And it just does more. But I don't need that. All I need is just password management. So I just use Apple's. But yes, it absolutely will do more. And it's cross-platform in a much nicer way than Apple's is cross-platform. So down here at the bottom of my site, you're going to see one-to-one training. If you're logged into my site, you get a discount. So members get a discount. So just click on that. It's at the bottom of the page. Ward, why do you like 1Password? Can you tell Yvonne why you like 1Password? Oh, you're muted.
I've liked filling in passwords and forms and so on. The main thrust of what 1Password does and what others did before it. But the additional things are handy. Saving credit cards, saving identities, saving small documents, like in notes. Like I have I have a category of notes where I keep track of where I have registered credit cards on websites, so that I can go back and update expiration dates and so on.
Right.
So there are many different kinds of things that can be stored in 1Password, and they work on my Macs and my phone. And if I actually used my iPad, I could use it there too. So it's just one place to keep everything.
And they've been around for a long time. It's a good company. So there you go, Yvonne. And other people, I'm sure, use it. I think, Jerry, do you use it?
I've used it for years.
Okay,
Yeah.
Phil. Yep. See, I knew.
It's-
I'm looking around. I'm like, I know a few of these people have used it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good program.
And I've tried
version
a
5
number of different other password programs, and I always go back to 1Password. It just works.
Right.
Period.
Yep.
Phil, can you transfer what's on our iPhone in the, like, I guess Apple's password management can you just switch it over to 1Password, or do you have to enter everything in one at a time?
I can answer that.
Okay.
On a worse, I think 1Password will maybe import. It might or it might not, because passwords are protected, highly protected. But on a worst case scenario, what you can do as long as you're using Mac OS Catalina, is that last year's? When you go over to passwords and the system settings, this is where it is on a Mac. And what you're able to do is export them. So you can export them all, and then in one password you can import them.
Oh, so
that's-
you don't have to enter them one at a time. Oh,
Now, I don't know if one password will go. I don't know if they worked something out with Apple where they can do this without you having to do it, but worst case scenario, you can do that. So,
Okay.
all right. So
And it tells you in there what formats it will accept
okay.
when you open one
When you-
passwords.
Yeah, and like I say, they've been around for a long time, and it's a good company. So, George said that he has been using 1Password for years and loves it. So, I mean, we're getting some good kudos here, and there's a link to it there. So, import Safari. So he put a link in there. So it must be able to do that. Thanks, George.
Wow, thank you.
And on Tom's Apple listing of for the user groups, there's usually a discount for 1Password. I don't know if it's still there or not.
It was for 1Password 7, and I think they're up to 8. That's been a little outdated, but I don't know if it works on the new ones or not.
Yes,
But
it
does?
does.
Thank you, George.
Well, let me say this. I've used it, and they've been giving me the discount. Maybe I shouldn't say that on this recording, but I've been getting the discount because mine's just renewed this month. And
Okay.
I've been getting discount every year. Like I said, I love the program. One thing that I noticed when I went in there the other day, you can sort on the last time you modified things, and I was like, oh, I haven't changed
That's nice.
this password in how many years? And that's one of those nice things to do is to sort things based on the last time you changed it or modified it.
Right.
And then they have the watchtower feature where if sites have been compromised, it'll provide you with that information. It's a very powerful program that I don't mind paying the fee for every year.
Yep.
Can you tell us how much it is?
Mine was like it was like $30, right around $30. So
For a year or what? A month?
Yeah.
per year.
Per year.
Wow, that's worth it.
That's discounted, but yeah, and you can find
And
those
that's the
discounts.
discounted part.
But even if it's, I think it's like,
automatically-
I think it's like $60. Let's see here. Let's go to the website.
They automatically give you the discount on a renewal.
That's nice. I mean, I do that on my site too, because I get so mad when I get discounted on the initial, and then all of a sudden next year they give me the full price. That bugs me. So I make sure I don't do that as well. Okay, so 1Password and individual. Yeah, $2.99 a month, and I'm sure that so $3, 3 times 60.
Yeah,
I can't do the math, but yeah.
yeah,
Anyway,
got it.
I will say
Good.
that discount applies to individuals who are members of users group. There's this great user group that people are not aware of called the Naples user group. It is basically an international group of Apple users from around the world. So
yeah,
I
Naples
think
mug.
quite a few people here are actually aware of it, but
They have a really nice website too.
Naples, as in Florida?
Naples
yes,
mug.
it is. And he's right. They do have a really nice website. I will say that.
Gee, I wonder
Done by a
who
birthday
did
guy.
that.
I wonder.
Is it just called Naples?
Naples mug, M-U-G. So Naples mug.com.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And what they're going to be, I'll give you a little hint of what they're going to be getting soon with my next thing. So that's what I have. We'll wrap it up with what I've added to the site, and then we'll go from there. So some of you know I added AI to my site. So if we look at this, you're going to see down in my lower right-hand corner, I have the little ChatGPT. So it's using the latest version of ChatGPT, so it's ChatGPT 4 Turbo, which is even more powerful than the ChatGPT that people are paying for $20 a month. So the API uses their latest and greatest, and ironically, if you're paying them $20 a month, you're not getting the latest and greatest. You're getting GPT-4, but not the turbo. Anyway, what this is this is just an AI, and I fed it all of the information from my site. And then also what it does is it obviously will go out and, go out to the what it knows as its knowledge and all that. And you can go and ask it questions. So, what kind of questions can you ask? Well, playing around with it, I'm telling you, this thing is far better than the search. It kind of makes this whole thing obsolete. And for those of you who've been around me for a while, when I switch over to this new site, one of the reasons why I did it is this search is pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with it. As we all know, search is king. I mean, that's why Google is one of the largest companies in the world. I mean, search. You want to search for something, you want to get the answer. And this is pretty good, but it's nowhere near what this thing does. So basically, we can start out with something simple. And I'll just clear it here. Just tells you, hello, I'm Dan's assistant. Do you have a question about your Apple devices? I do have it limited to where it's just Apple related. Of course, you're not going to be able to use it to find anything else out. Otherwise, I would go broke if I open that up. But that's the whole context side of it. But, I can go in here and say for the website, do you have a video on how to zoom into the iPhone? Okay, so I sends it. And it's going out and taking a look. Sure thing. Dan has a great tutorial that explains how to use the Zoom accessibility feature, and there it is. And it gives you the link. Kind of nice.
Unpairing my watch on that.
You can do that. And actually, where I got the answer was I went in here and I said, I have a new iPhone that is paired. New iPhone and an Apple Watch. And, talk to it like you're talking to a person. This is the key to making it work. This is not a typical search. So you really treat it like it's a person. So I have a new iPhone and an old Apple Watch. The Apple Watch is paired to the old iPhone. How can I pair it to the new one? And it's going to come back and give you the actual steps on how to do it. And you can go into full screen here.
Wow.
So you can ask it more than one sentence. You can make your question several sentences.
This is the beauty.
This is like a tutorial then.
It's better than a tutorial because you are having this is the whole idea for those of who are new to AI. That's the beauty of AI. You're having a conversation. It remembers all this. So I can go in here and say,
print that off?
I could just print this, I guess. Sure. So, how do I format a flash drive, right? So it's going to come back.
Wow.
Formatting a flash drive. I didn't have to say that I was on a Mac. So it comes back and tells you how to do it. And if I had a video on it, and on this one I don't think I do have a video on it, it will come back and show you the video. Tells you about the different APFS, macOS extended, all that kind of stuff. Oh, I do have a video on it. Look at that. So it knows that I have a video on it, and it provides you with the link. But let's say, well, okay, so that's kind of, I'm confused at this. What is a APFS? So I'm in the conversation already. Again, it's like I'm talking to a human. This is the scary part of AI,
Wow.
It's going to come back because it already knows it. It mentioned APFS. APF stands for Apple File System. It's a file system that Apple introduced. Here are a few key features, and it tells you, and it isn't perfect. I will say I have found things that it is a little bit wrong. So, with AI, you do have to take a word of caution, but we find the same thing on Google. When we do a Google search, sometimes the information is old. So we always have to take this information. This isn't 100% perfect, but it's pretty darn good.
Wow.
and
So it's only AI when it has that green circle thing?
yes, that's when you click on the little green circle down here, if I click on the X, this is the AI. I also have a separate window here. If you just want
And
to,
are all AIs, sorry, Dan, are all AIs that color and that shape?
no,
Oh,
no, I just themed
how
it
do
to
you,
my site and all that. So,
that's just yours.
yep.
Oh, so if
And
you
it
were looking
only,
for AI on another site,
it,
how would you know?
it depends on if the developer added it. This is relatively new. I've not seen this on a lot of sites, especially out of Apple sites.
Oh,
So
I got
I'm kind of ahead of the game, I dare say, on this.
Wow.
But you can. I think Ward had a question about the studio display. Is the studio display a good? Oops, if I can spell here. Display. Different size keyboard with this MacBook Air 15. So I got to get used to it. As you know, some of you know I'm not a typist. Is the studio display a good display? Or should I go with a Samsung? It's a premium monitor that's designed to work seamlessly with the Mac. 5K Retina, built-in webcam with center stage support, which we talked about, I think. And on the other hand, Samsung and other brands offer a wide range so it might fit based on your specific user case and budget. And then you can go and ask, okay, so you could probably give it a model number for a Samsung and it would know about that particular model number. And so you're reading this and you're like, what is center stage? I don't know, behold.
So how did you know to put AI on your site? Like, how do you, why would you?
How did I know how to do this?
Yeah.
I read up on it. Just
And you have to pay for it.
I have to pay for it. Each one of these queries costs about a penny to 2 pennies. And I'm willing to, if you're not logged in, you get 2 queries a day. If you're logged in, I have it set at 5. I think I'm going to up it to 10. We'll see. But obviously members will be able to ask more. And when you're a guest and you're not logged in, I'm obviously going to limit it. It's not going to make me broke. I can put a lot of limits on there. But it's not so much that. I find it just extremely, in my mind, I find it extremely helpful for a lot of people. I use, as some of you know, I use AI on a daily basis. It has really helped with what I do. And now I'm able to kind of push this out and possibly help other people. So now okay, so that's cool. So you can just go, does Dan have a video on center stage? Which I don't, but you can go in here and ask.
Just to let you know, you might be late for bowling.
Oh shit! Yep, you're right. Oh, sorry. Okay, so there. That's. I see 4 hands up. Let's go through these real quick. Ward.
Nobody in the discussion of 1Password mentioned vaults and family sharing. I find those also very valuable. You can organize it into things they call vaults.
Yeah.
And I have a vault that I share with my daughter who does bookkeeping.
Oh.
So all that for my various accounts are in there.
Great. That is a great feature. Apple just recently added, but it's not as powerful as the vaults. Excuse me, Steve.
Oh, I was just saying I can't use 1Password because I have more than one password.
Nice.
And also,
I like it.
P.S. I'm trying to get Yvonne to read her chat window.
Where is that?
So if you open up the chat window, I'm going to show it here. Comments.
On the bottom of the Zoom toolbar set, there should be a chat. You can click on and it should open up the chat window for you.
Then you'll see the discount.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Steve.
Okay, so password for UG members UG member deals, all one
All
word?
one word.
So that's up above or that's down below?
Well, when you purchase it, you can click on that link and just email me and I
Okay.
can get this to you too. So,
Okay, thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
P.S. I sent you some direct messages, Yvonne, so
Yes.
start
Okay.
reading all of those.
All right.
And good to see you.
Okay, thank you very much.
all right, Ed.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about, you were talking about passwords before, and I was trying to say, what's happening with passkeys? I know it's maybe a topic, but maybe the next time.
Let's talk about that next time. It's not ready for prime time, but it's getting closer. We'll just go with that and let's discuss it next. Yep.
About that. Great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Phil?
Yeah, if you're a SetApp member, if you're a SetApp member, there's a very good AI program on there that's included called Typing Mind.
Love it.
Give it a try. And you have access to everything, including the one you're using, the ChatGPT Pro.
Yeah.
And they don't charge you extra for that. I don't think that's going to last, but.
Absolutely. I have a list of programs that I'm finding in SetApp that I'm going to start doing some tutorials on. And Typing Mind is a game changer for me. So thank you,
yes,
Phil. And
I
will,
agree.
maybe
What
I'll
does
do
it
a
do?
lesson. It's basically ChatGPT, but you can create all these different profiles and all that, which I got to get going, but we'll talk about it at a later date. It truly is like crazy what it can do.
Yeah.
It's really good. George.
Dan,
Yeah, I just got a question about deleting attachments from messages. I basically back up my messages, and I noticed that it's using up a good portion of my iCloud space. And I was like, okay, how can I actually like delete the attachments because I want to keep some of the messages? Because I don't.
This is on your. Is this on your iPhone?
Yeah, that's on my iPhone. Well, everything syncs. So
Okay.
I'm just thinking.
So what you'll do,
to actually go through and delete the attachments quicker.
Yep. What you'll do is, this is what I would recommend, is if you go into the messages settings, there's going to be an option here down towards the bottom where it says keep messages. Where'd it go? Mine is set to forever. What you want to do is just reduce that. So when you tap on it, you can reduce it down into 30 days or 1 year.
No, I want to keep them forever. I just want to delete some of the attachments.
Oh,
so
I don't know about that.
Space that I'm using shrinks that.
Good question. Let's revisit that one as well.
Okay.
All right. Because I really do have to get going. I'm surprised my wife isn't in here yet. So
she should be tapping at the door.
Right.
Happy wife, happy life.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. All right, everyone. Thank you. Save the chat. And what I'll try to do also is put this. Did I record this? I'm going to save it right now because I don't know if.
Recorded it.
Yeah. Let's see here, record, and then I'll also have it to where you can download this this chat off of my site. If you're a member of my site, you'll be able to download it. Then you can get everything on there. All right, and what I will also do is I do put this on YouTube, but I blur out this gallery view of everyone, so you don't have to worry about your faces being on YouTube. But if you are a member, you'll be able to watch it like with all the other members. So, but it will be blurred out on YouTube, so you don't have to worry about that. Outside of that, thank you, everyone, and I will see you in 2 weeks. And hope you had a good New Year. And
nice to see you all again. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Get a bunch of strikes tonight.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, happy.
Bye,
Happy
Chris.
birthday. See ya.
Bye, friend.
Thank you.
Go Pack, go.